Hello, hello, ladies and gents. I am Day 9. It is time for another action-packed match from the After Hours Gaming League, where we have employees from the 8 top tech companies in the known universe and galaxy duking it out for a chance to donate $5,000 of my money to charity. As we take a look at the team standings, the matchup that we have today is Google versus Zynga. Google in position 2, looking very comfortable to stay in the top 4 and advance to the semifinals of the AHGL. Zynga, on the other hand, they're in teeter mode. They don't want to drop down to 5 because not only would they blush deeply, but they would be knocked out of the top 4 and would be forced to play their casual games rather than duke it out in the hardcore battlefield that is StarCraft 2. So without any further ado, let's introduce our teams. It is Zynga. Look at how friendly those guys look. And the enemy that they will be facing is Google, who, quite honestly, also looks really, really friendly, because keep in mind, employees of these companies are nerds just like you and I who enjoy gaming and understand the value of fun competition. But the fun may end in just a moment, as we now have ShamWow in the south, the Zynga Zerg. ShamWow, the Zynga Zerg in red at the bottom, and we see Morphe, the Google Zerg in the left. Morphe, the Google Zerg. His team's down 0-1. Can he pull it back? Pull the miracle? And by pull the miracle, I mean land that one Baneling hit that always causes you to lose the game that you really didn't think that you could. That is the way Zerg vs. Zerg tends to work at the early game. Or will the Zynga Zerg ShamWow extend that lead to 2-0? Zynga currently up 1-0 thanks to the Zynga toss Jules, who is great at slam dunking those wins in the table. Unbelievable. But keep in mind, we are not at the buzzer right now. We are currently only in game number 2. It is first to 3. Plenty of time to make a comeback. Morphe, the Google Zerg, and ShamWow, the Zynga Zerg, both continuing to make drones, and everything is revealed. It is like being on Venice Beach on a warm day. There is just not much hiding there. Both players can see exactly what openings the other will be doing, and it looks like Morphe is continuing to build drones, but a surprisingly early extractor from the Zynga Zerg, who remarkably has said nothing about playing any Zynga products. So let me just say it for him. He would like you to go play Farmville or Cityville. And of course, Morphe, the Google Zerg. Big shout out to Google for providing wonderful things like AdSense that help support things like gaming streams that you end up watching on YouTube. Air 5 to you. Watcha, watcha, watcha. You guys didn't see it, but I basically was pawing the air in my room with excitement. Now, I will say, ShamWow, the Zynga Zerg, going for an aggressive opening. Morphe, the Google Zerg, going for a very economic early expand. We see his pool already planted. And there's some weird reason that people always say, 14 pool beats a 10 pool, beats a 14 hatch, beats a 14 pool. They create this imaginary triangle of victory where they just assume that, yes, because Morphe got his expansion up first and because he'll have Zerglings in time, he'll be okay. But keep in mind, this is not StarCraft 1. Banelings did not exist way back yonder. So speed for ShamWow will be done much earlier, and Banelings can be started much earlier as well. So ShamWow can apply that pressure to the Google Zerg Morphe. Morphe's going to have the sickest defense in the known world to be able to deal with this sort of pressure. Alternatively, we see ShamWow pulling all guys out of gas, so he might just be doing a little bit of light pressure. Now we see that ShamWow is going to be expanding to his natural expansion. Shadoosh, there it goes down. So ShamWow's goal at this point is to just freak Morphe out so much that Morphe overproduces defense and underbuilds them drones. As we can see, ShamWow already moving up to the front. Zerglings are out for Morphe, and can he get a drone? He does! He equalizes the drone count. Though Morphe is going to have extra larva, he might have extra panic as well. And panic is never a virtue in a programmer, nor a StarCraft player, nor someone using a search engine. Although I don't really think that there's anyone who hops on a search engine freaking out going, where can I buy the next Kanye album? Right, that's just not a normal thing to do. And if you do have that problem, don't worry, there's a pill for that. We also see that the Roach Warren is being planted for Morphe behind the mineral field. We see the aggressive play getting the Roach Warren allows for defense against these early speedling attacks, and you can do the counter pressure as well. Great spine Crawler placement by Morphe. A couple of stray Zerglings off doing their own thing. No, Zerglings, you want to stay at home and fit in. Do not try to start your own lunch table. Stay at this one at the bottom of a hill. It might seem weird that you're eating outside with a giant path leading to your table, but my God, you have a job to do, you guys. ShamWow continuing to produce lots of Zerglings. Actually, lots of Zerglings. 24 to 13, has not even built a single additional drone, though that second hatch is done, and though 2 queens are out for ShamWow, he's going to have to worry about that roach count from Morphe getting a little too high. The Zynga Zerg now continuing to peek in, make sure there's no drones being made. ShamWow is buying himself time and creating a fear of a counterattack in the Google heart of Morphe. If he does do a lightning-fast search into his own soul using Google.com, Morphe will find, I don't want to move out yet. He needs to get a good amount of roaches, secure this ramp, because if Zerglings can surround the roaches or catch the main off guard, Morphe's drone count could plummet down to 0 in seconds. In the meantime, ShamWow is continuing to make drones at the front, but still has not really added on that many. Only 19 out, 36 Zerglings total out for ShamWow. And the question for Morphe is he going to mount some sort of huge counterattack at any point? Or is he just doing this for the defense? Is it that proliferation of arms, of Zerglings? Morphe, we see, has not really done anything but produce drone after drone after drone. Has not even actually used the inject from his queen, instead favoring saving that energy up. There's the inject going down. We see both players very low on money. Although in the food count, Morphe does have a marginal edge. Now we see ShamWow slowly adding on drones of his own, and this is a very clever play. He's bought himself enough time to begin his own Roach Warren. In the unit counting station, 3 drones more than his opponent, now 4. That might not sound like enough of a difference, but that is 20% better economy for Camp ShamWow. The Zynga Zerg really racking in the dough with the micro money brought in, little microtransactions from those drones back to home. Also great spotting done by ShamWow. The Zynga Zerg spotting all on Morphe's front. Now the Spine Crawler retreats back. Nothing but roaches have been produced, and ShamWow's thought process is, hey, I started building roaches later, but I have the better economy now. I'm going to catch up to your roach count and have a badrillion Zerglings, 50 Brazilian Zerglings at the front of the base. I don't even know how much a Brazilian is, but it is definitely way more than a Google. So we now see Morphe continuing to add on drones at his natural expansion. For the first time, actually, in a long amount of proliferation going on there. The layer is now up for Morphe, who seems to have a little bit of a gas lead. If we actually even box this extractor, we see that it's just under 500, or just over 500 gas mined, whereas ShamWow is just under 400 gas mined. So that little bit of an edge is allowing allowing the Google Zerg Morphe to sneak out a layer. A lot of Zerglings here really should invest in killing off those destructible rocks, because honestly, it is like the Saturday afternoon after finals. These Zerglings basically have nothing to do but cause trouble. Both players now planting that evolution chamber, as it does allow for the essential +1 attack upgrade. +1 attack upgrade allows the roaches to kill Zerglings in 1 hit instead of 2. And wow, look at ShamWow sprinting out with 10 full drones, even getting the double evolution chamber. ShamWow is intending to do noise bringing like no other trumpet has brought in the history of mankind. And if you thought suddenly trumpets was bad, try suddenly 1/1 upgrades. ShamWow will blow your face off. But if we come back to the unit counting station, we still see a tremendous lead in roaches for Morphe. No +1 upgrade has started for Morphe, but if he does start it, he's going to have a nice, big, fat advantage against this gigantic Zergling count from the opponent. And now ShamWow does have those 2 evolution chambers up. He's a little low on gas. Looks like ShamWow may have mistakenly transitioned a touch too early. If he ends up getting all those upgrades, the evolution chambers, all the layer, and that roach speed, we can end up seeing that ShamWow can't quite pump out of all his larvae at the same time, just due to the fact that he has been producing nothing but units at the start. His economy is not stable enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I do see a +1 upgrade. And at the front, nothing. And at the back base of the Zynga Zerg, nothing. Looks like neither of them are in the mood for any armoring type things. But, oh, nabbing the Roach Warren. The Zynga Zerg contaminates. The Google tosses Roach Warren. And now the Zerglings, oh, if they're going to go attack these destructible rocks, this is a great play by the Zynga Zerg. He is peeling open attack paths. With this many Zerglings, you want your opponent taking too many expansions. You want to counter-attack as often as you can. The fourth geyser being planted for Morphe, but oh, it's an infestation pit. And as you know, the Infestor is one of the biggest tide turners in the game of StarCraft 2. One fungal growth can ruin your life, and one neural parasite can make you do things that you never thought that you would do. Well, you know, because you're being mind controlled. ShamWow now destroying the destructible rocks, as the name would indicate. The food lead suddenly falling in the favor of ShamWow, the Zynga Zerg, who is just getting ready to take himself the gold expansion. And Morphe has consistently stayed at a very high roach count, but is just now being surpassed by ShamWow. And when you are behind on roaches and behind on Zerglings, that is bad news bears. And does Morphe know? Oh no, the Google Zerg, he has no idea! Oh, the Zynga Zerg is knocking down dem rocks. The back door is now wide open. Morphe, he doesn't know, and here come the Zerglings. Oh, they walk directly in. A near instantaneous reaction from Morphe. But is he going to get there in time? A couple sacrificial drones make their way into the fray, and he gets out of there like it's nobody's business. But of course, he did do a little bit of damage. These Zerglings can't even bounce over to the front. It looks like that's what they want to do. Oh no, the main! Oh no, the main! The main! Oh, Morphe! The Google's main under heavy assault. The stock in the company that is Morphe the Google Zerg currently plummeting. Everyone on the short sell. ShamWow. The Zynga Zerg representing with delight Morphe. The Google Zerg in a lot of trouble. And look at him! Look at him using the speed of the Zerglings. I'm going to kill you over here, and then I'm going to kill you back over here. ShamWow representing for them Zynga Zergs in the units lost tab. We do see a huge lead here. Very unusual to see this sort of change. Holy roaches, Batman. Oh my god, and those are 1-0 if I've ever seen 1-0. The Queen gets one-shotted, and the Zynga Zerg backs on out and runs up into the top left. Amazing tactical decision-making by ShamWow, and it looks like one of the observers in the game is delightedly pinging all around the map saying, I just can't believe it's not butter, and also, Google Zerg is taking a beating. Meanwhile, we see that the roach numbers are looking fairly equivalent if you just try to take a fast glance at the army, but we do see there is an extra pack of 11 roaches there, bringing that roach count up to 55, and the third base falls! Morphe, the Google Zerg, had his third base popped like a balloon at the end of a birthday that you never really wanted anyways, because man, was there a lot of tension between those two pairs of friends that you liked individually, but when you brought together turned out created acid. ShamWow now going through the middle as I recount a tragic tale from my childhood. We do see Morphe, the Google Zerg, on the verge of letting his team slip down to 0-2. Zynga Zerg delightedly hoping to bring his team away from that teetering point, away from that fourth place position, hopping into third or second. Can anyone catch Microsoft? Only time will tell. It's going to come down to the semifinals. Both these teams desperately want to get there. And now the roach count from ShamWow, absolutely gigantic. I feel like I'm watching a beta Zerg vs. Zerg. It's going to be roaches versus roaches. Let's look at the roach count and just see it dissipate. Oh, never mind. ShamWow helping us identify which roaches are not his, because you'll see them covered in green mold. And we see the infested Terran starting to pop out. A triage of beach balls arrive at the front of the scene. The roach count from the Zynga Zerg just too high. The Google Zerg plummeting down to 56 supply. And there is yet another fungal growth onto the Zynga Zerg's roaches this time. But keep in mind, whoever throws down the first few fungals is the victor. And that victor today will be ShamWow, the Zynga Zerg, who are now 2-0. Google at 0-2. The number 2 ranked team in the After Hours Gaming League, struggling to maintain that hold. Can Google manage to put a win down in Game 3? If they could, that would mark the beginnings of a comeback. But the momentum is currently all in the favor of Zynga. For now, my name is Day 9, ladies and gentlemen, and this has been some Week 5 action of the After Hours Gaming League. No, it hasn't. It's been Week 6 action of the After Hours Gaming League. That was game number 2. We're going to be going into game number 3 right after this. Whatever you do, don't go away.